person and not on the screen.
I love you.
And we're at different places in that journey. This is such a treat. Right? We never get to do this. We all work different schedules. None of us sleep enough, that's for sure. And usually the reason we can never all get together is because either before work or after work, it's the kids. Yeah. We have something with the kids, some reason we can't all get together. So what a perfect opportunity as we're getting ready to celebrate Mother's Day to take a time for the mothers to enjoy our motherhood together.
And talk about it openly, right?
To celebrate our wins and our losses.
And actually see everyone in person, right? Because I don't get to see you.
Never.
Or you. I mean, I guess it's been like, what, 6 months?
Yes, I know. Our schedules are so...
Through the magic of television, I see all of you.
I'm the lucky one. I'm the middle person. That's why I'm sitting in the middle, because I see you all. So I'm happy to be here. Yeah, so much fun. And a beautiful day.
I know we could just talk probably for hours with no prompts and no cards, but we do have some little, conversation starters, not that we need them, to get going. So I'm going to take this one if you want to pass them around. Just some things to sort of get us all talking about our motherhood journey and what we've experienced. Because our kids are all in different places in their lives, and we're at different places in that journey. So let's go ahead. I'll start off, and I'm going to open mine first here. Our first conversation is, as busy women with demanding careers, how do you find time to connect with your kids? Go ahead.
Oh my gosh.
You know what I do every night? I read to my kids and then I lay down with them and we say a prayer. And that kind of gives me an idea of where their heads are, what they love. They're little, my kids are 5 and 8. And so they talk about, they love their friends and their house and their teacher and all these things like that. And that just really makes me realize that we're all doing okay, and they're thankful. And the most important for me is that they're thankful and we're guided by that little space that we have together.
Yeah, that is so great. Well, in my case, my kids are all in different ages. I got 19, AJ, Andy's 17, and my little one is 12. So right now, my 19-year-old, I barely see him. He's driving, he's got a girlfriend. So the little time that I do have with him, I just try to, thank you. Just sit down and talk, and I'm like, what's going on? And, but we've have a great relationship since he was little, so that kind of helps. We already grew up that way. And then my middle one, he's 17, so he's kind of like, oh, Mom, you're not cool, But I try to be their friend, and I'm like, bring your friends over. I have 3 boys. Bring your friends over. My house is always packed with kids.
That's good. At least they come to your house.
They're always packed. That is the key to have them in your house. They're like, can we have friends over? Absolutely. Order pizza. The party's always at my house because it's always good to see what's going on. And then you got my little one who just loves me and cuddles me. That's now. I'm sure things are going to
You have to hold on to that, right? Because it goes fast.
I feel like night side, we have a different perspective, at least for me. So many people ask, so when do you see your kids? What's your schedule like, and how do you make the time? Because I know it's a juggling act for sure.
So for us, mornings are really precious time because I'm there in the morning. So it's getting my daughter and son ready for school. I have a 9-year-old and a 2-year-old. And so that's really the time where we process their day before and looking ahead, because by the time I get home, sometimes close to midnight, everybody is sound asleep. But it's been interesting because as my daughter gets older, I think we're connecting in new ways. Kids are exposed, I think, to so much more, especially girls, than they ever were before. And so she's asking me a lot of questions. She sees things. Some friends have TikToks. Some friends have social media. They're exposed to things so much earlier. So for us, connecting is about talking about what she's seeing and having just really candid conversations and making sure she knows, whatever she sees, whatever she hears, I'm the one who will always tell you the truth. You can come to me, no question is off limit. And I think it happens
safe space.
It happens so much earlier now.
Yeah.
The same thing. I have my 10-year-old daughter, my 8-year-old daughter, and I'm grateful that my schedule does allow me to pick up the kids from school and to be present for them. And after
you get
school,
home and exhausted, but it's okay.
I mean, thankful for coffee. I mean, how would we all survive without coffee? But especially waking up in the middle of the night. But
you wake up at 3.
Yeah, exactly. So I am a zombie mom many days.
I'm with you there.
But at the same time, I'm able to hear right when they get out of school, what they experience at school. They share stories with me, what happened with friends, what happened with their tests, and then we get home and we're able to connect more as well because I take them to their after-school activities. Both my daughters love musical theater just like me, so we both have a passion for the arts. They love playing the piano. and I get to be there to help them with their homework. And at night we have a similar routine where we read books and then we say a prayer, and it's a very special moment because sometimes that's when they really express themselves and they open up. And so I cherish those moments, even though we know we have to get to bed early. At least that time is our time to just really talk and chat about their day and what's ahead for the next day too.
Well, the great part is their bedtime is our bedtime, right? Exactly.
For now.
For me, technology helps so much. Like FaceTime, being able to FaceTime my son. If anyone's in the newsroom, like at 3:30, 4 o'clock, they will hear me helping my son with homework, and I'm like, no, erase that. Your handwriting is a mess. Try again. He's like trying to show me, and that's really a way for us to connect. So I just know kind of what's going on. The first thing I ask him to tell me all about your day, who'd you eat lunch with, who'd you play with at recess, sort of that sort of engagement. My daughter's only 4, so it's a little bit harder to pull information out of her other than like, it was great, bye mom. But bonding over the activities too, because my kids are booked and busy, at least my son is. He's in travel baseball.
You're a baseball mom.
I'm a baseball mom, that is for sure. And so, for me, sometimes my dinner break, and it's not dinner, it's a baseball field down the street where I go watch for an hour and then come back to work. And some people say, oh my gosh, that's so crazy that you're running all over town. I'm like, it's worth it when he sees my face in the stands and knows that I went. And I was mindful about my choices of what I was going to do with my time. Or on the days he doesn't have baseball, going home and reading the stories to my kids before bed. It's all about showing them that no matter what, you're going to make the time for them, even if it's only a little bit that you can carve out.
Quality of time being there and being present, I would also say it's very important.
Yeah, because even during our cut-ins, what we do in the morning, right? I have like a 1.5 minute window, and I'm on FaceTime in that commercial break, going, "Hi, I hope you have a great day at school. Here's what's for lunch and for breakfast," because I'm rattling off the list of everything. But it's so special to them, even if it's just a minute or two. Thank goodness for technology.
FaceTime is the best. Awesome. Yeah, can you imagine if we didn't have FaceTime? I mean, at least it allows us when we're at work to connect with our kids too.
Or calling them during the commercial break and say, "Hey, everything good? Okay, I gotta go."
Because there's so much mom guilt,
right,
out there as there is, right? And especially in this business, when you feel like, okay, I'm here doing my job. Everyone else can see me, but I'm not home with you. So there's a lot of that going on. But thank goodness for technology.
And also, there's a lot of sacrifices too. Sometimes we can't be there all the time. If they have a play or they have a game, and you feel guilty, you have that guilt,
Does it ever go away because you have older kids?
No, it never goes away. It never goes away. It doesn't. So.
My mom will tell me she still feels guilty if she can't like be there for me when I need her. But so I don't think the guilt ever goes away.
I think most working moms will feel that, whatever business you're in.
But I think our kids are used to it. I mean, I've been at Channel 4 for 21 years. I had all my 3 kids there. I was pregnant throughout working. I was out reporting, pregnant, anchoring, pregnant. So my kids grew up with that, and yours too, and yours,
that's what they know,
and yours, and that's all they know. They don't know anything else. It's just, oh yeah, my mom works on TV. Yeah, okay. Not a big deal. When other people think that it's really cool, they're like, oh, mom.
Not at all. Because they want you there.
Right.
At the end of the day, they just want us to be mom. That's the most important role to them. And so, but I think, like you said, every working mom kind of feels this. And it's just a way to navigate and manage it. And like we have friends, right? We have colleagues that I know when I first got here, I was like, okay, how do you do it? I know I was looking to you and I was looking to you, trying to figure out, okay, how do we make this juggle? Because that's the only way we survive, right? Is to juggle it every single day.
Does being a mom make you feel you lost your identity, or how do you keep your identity when becoming a mom?
I think it's just a different role in your life. You know what I mean?
It's a season.
It's something that. I don't know, I think it just comes natural, you know what I mean? And I also think you have to keep yourself also as a woman as well. So it's hard, and you're also a wife, you're a mom, you're a working mom. But I think, you know what I mean? Like I said, it doesn't have to be perfect. We don't always have to be perfect.
Sometimes you get lost in it,
yeah,
right?
exactly. And
you do
I
what you
try
think
and
so.
compartmentalize it as this is just a season of life. It's going to be hard now, yes, because I have a 4-year-old and a 9-year-old, and it's a boy and a girl, and they do different things. And so I would, if they were closer together and I could take them to one place, I feel like this would be so much easier. But I just think it's just for a season. I only get this honor and this privilege for so long. They'll always be my kids, but I'll only be their mommy for so long that I can just kind of in my mind say push through, we got this, even on the hard days. But your identity becomes mother, but
I'm so-and-so's mom.
Right? Exactly, right.
Which is kind of a great title, but I think that's what makes work so wonderful, because we get to come to work and be who we are, professionally. And that kind of keeps us sane to some extent, because going home and dealing with diapers, right, and messes and whatnot, you kind of get lost in that, and you wake up from it and you're like, wait a second, there is another part of me besides this, and I think
because
that's
we love what we do.
Yeah, that's why work is a bit of a balance for us. I don't know for you, but for me it is. Sometimes I come to work, I'm like, thank goodness I'm at work.
My husband will sometimes say at night, he's like, you're so lucky that you're not handling this crazy bedtime right now.
And my husband says that in the morning. He's like, you don't know what it's like in the morning getting these kids ready for school. It's chaos. So I do agree. Sometimes it does provide you with a little bit of a break from being at the house, which, listen, stay at home moms, all power to you. Because
I think that's way harder. I do.
It is. That's tough. So at least, we're able to come to work, do something that we love, we're passionate about, and also serve our community, which is just so fulfilling. But at the same time, be able to come home and be a mom and be present for our kids. I know since I was a little girl, I always knew that I wanted to be a mom. I mean, I would always tell my mom, I can't wait to be a mom when I grow up. And so for me, I'm so grateful that I was able to become a mom. And so every single day I try to make the most of being their mom, as you said, while they're little, because I keep hearing from moms who have older kids that everything changes,
It does.
Yeah, I've never felt like being a mother stripped me from my identity, but I think it added a new layer to my identity, and I think it enriched it. I value different aspects of my life so much more now.
It's true.
And you value it so much more. You see life differently, I think.
Absolutely.
I see it through my kids' eyes.
Even the stories we cover, it gives it a whole new perspective sometimes.
I think it's empowering because you feel like I can do all of this. Believe it or not, as challenging as it is, and as crazy as it makes you sometimes, it's like, wow, I did that and I'm doing it. I don't know how I'm doing it, but I'm doing it. But I also think too, for children to see their moms working and juggling, it teaches them lessons as well, right? Because we're their role models, we're their leaders, and for them to see it, not hear it, but see it at home, and then when they see us on TV and they see us out in the community, it matters to them.
I would think we serve as examples and role models for them, but we also learn from them. Just recently, my daughter was diagnosed with a health condition, and it's been really tough for us the last few months. And seeing her and how brave she's been and how resilient she's been has taught me so much, and has made me gather strength from I don't even know where to say, we're going to do this, we're going to take this on together as a family. And I'm just so proud of her and my other daughter as well for being supportive of her and what we're going through. And I just seeing our kids and how strong they can be and how brave they can be, I feel we learn from them, and it inspires us and it empowers us as moms.
And I've watched you go through this, and it hasn't been easy, and I just want to commend you. I mean, the mama bear came out in you, right? And it's not an easy journey, but you're making it, and you're doing it day by day, and you're doing it in a very thoughtful and kind and compassionate way, not only for yourself, but for your daughter and your family, and just hats off to you.
Thank you. And we were talking
we
about,
have to be brave, we have to be
as
strong.
moms,
can't let
we
ourselves
always
go.
have to, say,
Put on that tough face.
we're going to move forward, we're going to get through this, and it's going to be okay. And we sometimes have to be strong for our kids. But in the end, as moms, I think that's something that I admire about all of us moms, is that no matter what, you got to keep going, and even though you might be going through a tough time, you come to work, you show up and you do your best, and you're there, to do what you need to do, but then you come home and you're there for your kids. And when they need you, you're there for them, I'm grateful that we also work at a station where we have such wonderful managers and support that if we have to go through anything, that you feel that they are also there and they have your back. So
they always say family
I feel
first.
so blessed for that. Yes.
They always say family first.
Family and health.
And as much as I love my job, for me, my family comes first. I mean, I'm sure we all feel the same way. My kid is sick, I call and I'm like, I'm sorry, I can't come to work because my kid is sick.
Just seeing her be such an advocate for Sophia and Elise, of course, and that's another role that we take on as moms. Like, for so long, as women, for so long in our lives, we're told you need to stand up for yourself, advocate for yourself, and then you become a mom, you're like, I have to advocate for all these other people too, especially with health issues, school issues, anything that's going on. It's this whole new role and all these different things that you need to learn too, and sometimes it's just a crash course and figuring it out. You didn't know about this condition, and you had to study everything you could to learn so you could best advocate for your daughter. If it's a school thing, some things I don't know how the system works, but I'm going to figure it out if it means helping my kids be the best that they can be. So it's just another layer of being a mom.
It reminds me too of a conversation we had one time where I know we were both feeling like super taxed with job responsibilities and then responsibilities related to work outside of work. And we were standing in the hall, and someone had recently said to me that to our children, that's the only element of our life that we're not a disposable commodity. That everywhere else we're replaceable. We're replaceable in our jobs, we're replaceable in our volunteer activities, but to our kids, we are the only mom. And just remembering that when, you know, you're balancing it all and deciding where to put your energy into, because sometimes we have to make, you know, tough choices.
I talk about juggling. I gave you this example yesterday with the juggling and the prioritizing. So people will ask, oh, how do you do it all? And I'm like, one, I don't do it all. So don't get it twisted. We don't. We get the most important stuff done, and we hope for the best tomorrow. For me, I think of if we're juggling glass balls, and some are rubber balls. And if the glass ones can't drop, the rubber ones, if they fall, whatever, I'll deal with them tomorrow. My kids and their health and their well-being are the glass balls that I can't drop. My dentist appointment that I've been putting off for 3 months, that one can drop until I can figure it out. So it's just a matter of, you know, prioritizing and just being, I'm a to-do list girl. I like to cross things off, and the high priority stuff goes at the top, and that's always something for my kids. Of course, work things, we have work commitments. We do have to fulfill our obligations in our job as well. But again, it's one of those things like, if I can't get to that, I can't get to it, and we just move on. It can wait.
All right, so should we move on?
Yes.
Well, we're all going to answer it, not just me. Oh, I knew I was going to get this one. So, how has your relationship with your mom shaped the way you are as a parent? You know, for me, that's okay. So you girls can go first, and then I will compose myself and I will talk about it.
For me, you guys know my mom was my world. She is my village. She is my rock. She is everything I hope to be as a mother. And for the first 8 years of my motherhood, I could not have done it without her. My mom just recently got a different job that she can't help me as much as she does anymore. And I know it kills her. I know she wishes she could be helping me all the time. But everything I learned from her, and that's what's made it, you know, possible to carry the torch on without her being there 24/7 for us. I look up to her and everything that she's gone through in her life, and I think to myself, if she could do it with everything that she faced, I could do it, you know, and make it look half as easy and classy as her, I will be winning. So my mom has absolutely influenced everything. And I also got to say my sister has influenced me as a mother as well. She has 3 kids. She was a teacher since birth, I joke. She's an educator by trade, and that's just always been in her blood. And just seeing her and how she is with kids has made me be like, that's the kind of mother that I want to be. So I'm so lucky that she's also on my team, helping care for my kids day in and day out.
And one day your kids will say these things about you.
Yes, I hope we can hope so, right?
Yes. Yeah, my mom is my best friend as well, my rock. I mean, growing up, I only remember my mom always being there for us. She was a stay-at-home mom. In that sense, you know, she was just present all the time. She was involved in the school. When I didn't understand something and I was doing my homework, my mom was right there helping me to be able to figure it out. And she just sacrificed so much and would drive us everywhere. I was in chorus, I was in drama, any after school activities that we had. She just did everything. She devoted her life and still devotes her life to her kids. Even when I had my kids and they were babies, my mom took care of my kids. And to this day, I rely on her for so much. She's always there helping and supporting and showing her love, and she's just the most giving and selfless person. And she's my role model, and I only hope to be like her as a mother, because she's just a very special mom and a wonderful grandmother. And I love you, Mom. I'm sure that they're going to be watching. She watches our newscast every morning, and she'll still tell me if I have a hair out of my
Fix your hair, or I don't like those earrings.
And if I need to talk to her about anything, just as I'm trying to build that relationship with my daughters, that's the relationship that we have. I know I can always call her and talk to her about anything, and she's always there for me and for our family. So I'm just forever grateful.
Well, you know, my mother grew up in a foreign country, a war-torn country. I was born there as well in Vietnam. So I was very little when I came here. So we went through 3 different refugee camps. And as I got older, I learned more about the struggles. And to see this woman come to this country, not knowing the culture, the language, or anything, and start anew with nothing. We came here with nothing. And to see her build and believe in me, that's the one thing. her resilience, her ability to say, you know what, I'm going to tackle this because this is a better way for my family, has given me that strength, that courage to take on life in a different way, right? And believe that, hey, you know what, if she could do it, I could do it, because this doesn't seem nearly as hard as what she went through. So, I mean, I think we all love our moms for many different reasons, but that's one of the special bonds that I have with my mom, because I know the struggle, and I want my children to have a better life, but at the same time, I want them to understand where we come from, right? And that this wasn't just given to you. This was hard work that got you here. So, yeah. So thanks, Mom. I love you.
Yeah, for me, my mom is my very best friend. We're thick as thieves. We talk probably 3 times a day. She watches every streaming show. We'll be like, wear that, don't wear that, dude. She's like my biggest advocate, my biggest supporter. Every year still she comes and helps my husband and I get our kids ready for the school year at the beginning of the school year, and hangs around until we're settled. But when I think of my mom, I think about just the tremendous sacrifice that she made when I was growing up. She was also a working mother. She was a school principal and did a zillion other things. But she always made me a part of everything. So, and even to this day, you know, her relationship with my children is just magical. I can't think of a better best friend.
Yeah, and I'm really the same way. I mean, you guys know my mom and knew my mom. She really was my best friend, like you say. She was my best friend, and you know, unfortunately passed away during COVID, which was probably one of the hardest things for me, because I was working at the time. She was in the hospital for a month. I would leave during my break. I would come back. I would spend the night there. I'd come back, well, seeing her from the glass. And it was tough because I had to put on, you know, a strong face and report on all the COVID cases when I lost her. But having her, and I say my mom she passed away at 74, an angel. She really was an angel on earth. And she helped me. She was also a stay-at-home mom, sacrificed a lot of things, you know. We were a middle-class family. If she would have worked, you know, we probably would have had more, but she wanted to be there for us. She was the mom that my friends would come over to the house and sit with her on the table and tell them her story, like tell them what happened, and she would be like, oh my God, yes. She was the mom of the moms of all my friends. She was a cool mom. And you know what? And you know, I have to tell you, that is something that I learned from her, to be present, to be the mom that not only your kids are going to come to, but their friends are going to come and rely on you if they want to talk about something. I want to be that mom. Again, I have 3 boys. I want to be that cool mom. I want to be that cool mom for them.
So we took a little snack break to fuel up. So good. We're at Barbacoa by Finca here at Doral Yard in Doral. Such good food. We had a little bit of everything, but now we recharge so we can talk a little bit.
Yes, let's get down to talking mom business. So my question is this for all of you. What's your favorite part of being a mom? I mean, first thing that came to mind was the hugs, the kisses, the snuggles, the little letters that say "I love you, Mom," all those little things, and just those smiles. I mean, just those sweet little giggles and smiles. How
about when they say to you, "Mom, you look so beautiful"?
Yeah. Or "Mom, you're only 29, right?" Yes, of course.
Yes. Yeah, my love language is words of affirmation for sure, and both of my kids are so good at giving words of affirmation. Yeah. My daughter is constantly, like you said, "Mom, you're so beautiful. Mom, I love your dress. Mom, this." And my son is the same way, and I'm so proud of him specifically when I see him giving, you know, such positive feedback. He compliments his sister and my husband and my, you know, our parents and all these things. So it's so sweet, and that's when I feel that's like one of my favorite parts of being a mom, is seeing them like implement what you've taught them about being polite and being good citizens and being sweet. I'm like, I'm doing something right. That's what really, really makes my day.
Yeah, for sure. But I remember when my little one, AJ, he was 2, and I was getting ready to go to a gala, and he just is looking at me like in awe. And I looked down at him, I'm like, what's wrong? He's like, well, you look like a princess. And to me, that was like, okay, I'm not going anywhere. I'm staying here with you.
Right, exactly.
And that is it. It just made my day, my night, my week. And they still compliment me, which is also very important also.
They say boys love their
Especially
moms.
boys. Yep.
Right?
I mean, don't say anything about me. Don't say anything bad about me, because they'll come after you. And I think that's important, something that I've taught them, that my mom taught me, and I'm passing on to my boys, also being polite, being respectful. You know, and having boys, they have to be respectful towards women.
Thank you for raising, you know,
For women,
gentlemen.
I mean, and I've had to teach them, we get to a restaurant, they will open the door
That's beautiful.
and let everybody in, elevators, you know, compliment women, you know, they're not too much complimenting girls yet, although my oldest has a girlfriend already.
Different words to describe the love that you feel
Yes.
for your kids, and then the love that you receive
unconditional.
from your kids. It's just so fulfilling and so rewarding and just so overwhelming at times, and it's so moving and touching and inspiring. And even something as little as if we're taking a stroll around the block, which we often do in the evenings, and my daughter will just get a little sunflower and say, "Mommy, this is for you," or my younger daughter, she'll write me a surprise card, or both of them when they turn to me and say, "You're the best mom in the world," and it's just
I know.
oh, it's so special.
I remember specifically, and I don't ever want to lose this memory that is, of when you open the door and that little one sees you and makes a beeline
That's
for
what I was
you,
gonna
right?
say. For me, the best part about being a mom, it's different with my son right now and my daughter, because my son's 2 and my daughter's 9. So, but I am the light of his life. I mean, the unconditional love. I can have, you know, a face mask on my face and my beat up sweats and my hair all over my head, and he just pours all of his love into me. And so that's really special with him. With Michaela, I think the best part about being her mom is just how much I can pour into her. Like, I have so much to give her, to show her, and just watching her sort of evolve as we sort of navigate life together. Okay, this question is, what is your parenting style?
I think
Whoever
it
would like
changes.
to go.
Yes.
I mean, I just think it changes daily. Like we've all said, there is no manual. There is no handbook, no guide. Yes, we have our parents and we have our own personal experience, but I mean, there are questions that they come to me with, and I'm like, oh, okay, we're going here right now. And I think you just wing it. But I think for me, my parenting style is I want you to do good for yourself. I want you to do good in the world. I want you to be respectful and kind and loving and all those things. But most of all, I want you to be happy, because I think that's our ultimate goal, right? With all of this, strip everything else away. We want to be happy, and so I just, when I see them smile, I see them enjoy life, I see them play.
You know, you're doing something right.
Yes, but I'm also a strict mom. I mean, look, we're going to get good grades. We're going to, you know, be very respectful. We're going to do our chores. We're going to do other things. But I think that's good. I think children need guidance. They need those rules, because it helps them understand life as they grow up, right? Because we're always going to have to follow some kind of rule. So, but yeah, I think it just depends on the circumstance.
Yeah, I totally agree. And as, you know, different ages, you know, it's different for each one. You know what I mean? Now I'm dealing with my oldest son. It's midnight. I'm like, where are you? I'm following him on my phone on Life 360. Where are you? Oh, Mom, I'm right around the corner. I'm like, well, it's midnight. You better be home, you know? And then my little one is different. I'm strict, but I'm more, you know, my husband is the stricter one. I gotta say that I'm a little softy.
I'm a pick your battles parent, for sure. There are some things that this is the hill I will die on, like, and you know, for me, grades and education are super important. So, and I know, I mean, my son is the 9-year-old, so he's the one doing homework and has tests, and I know what he's capable of. So if it doesn't come back with what I know he could do, I'm a little tough on him, and I'll say, okay, no video games, you know, for a couple days or whatever the case may be. And I'll be the same way with my daughter. I will not, you know, change my style. But it also depends on, you know, what sort of aptitude she shows. I know my son can get A+ on tests, so I'm gonna, you know, push him to be the best that he could be all the time. And that's something that my mom always taught me. She's like, I don't expect you to always get straight A's. I expect you to always do your best. If your best is B's, yes, we will have pizza and cake for B's if I know that that's what you can do and that you've always put all your effort into it. So that's one of the battles I choose to be strict with. I'm not an eat all the food on your plate, Mom. I'm not an eat all your vegetables, Mom. That's a battle I'm like, I'm not going to fight that. I want to enjoy dinner and not argue about it. So
What, you want eggs for dinner? That's fine.
Cool.
You can have eggs for dinner. And
So we're in between. And the same as you know, our parents, they left everything behind in Cuba. They had to struggle. They started off with nothing. So, you know, seeing my father work so hard and my mom at home encouraging us to study hard, to work hard, because in this country, anything is possible as long as you are dedicated and determined. And so that's something that's always with me. And I
try to pass that on to my kids. And again, you don't have to get straight A's, but as long as I see that you're giving your best effort, putting your best foot forward, and doing your best, that's what matters at the end of the day. So
And then also am very mindful about encouragement, because I think it's really important, but encouraging the right things. So when I'm talking to my daughter, and she also made principals honorable, we're so proud, I always tell her, I love how smart you are. You know, I love how kind you are. So we're putting the emphasis on the right things, because I think especially living in Miami and with social media exposure, you know, there's so many other, it's a lot of pressure for girls at a very young age. So just being really mindful about what I encourage her to put her focus and self-worth into is really important.
And do you believe in rewards? Rewards? Like when they do something good?
They believe in
That's
rewards.
a good one.
Every time I
Well, when they're little, the dollar store.
Yeah.
Let's go to the dollar store.
Said I could get something.
Or take them to the dollar store and get 5 things that you want, you know?
See, I'm not the
When
one,
they're
like,
little.
when I was growing up, it was like, clean your room because it's your job to keep your
right.
room clean.
I
And
know.
do the dishes because you're contributing. My husband's like,
I know.
oh, you cleaned your room. Here's some money. Here. I'm like, why are
Yeah.
you giving her all this money?
They're
for doing
supposed to,
things?
right?
Yeah.
My husband, every time Jordan does something, you know, great, if he has, you know, a great attitude at baseball or if he gets good grades, he always goes and gets him baseball cards, a new stack of baseball cards. So it's like overflowing in the house of baseball cards. But that's like their reward and their thing that they kind of bond over with each other. But I'm like, he doesn't need baseball cards every single
Those are
time.
going to be collectibles.
Yeah,
so
so
one day.
we got to keep them safe, and he does. He takes very good care of them. We're parenting in totally different times than our parents did, and we learn so much from them, and we appreciate all the lessons that they taught us. But you know, we're figuring this out on our own. It's our kids' first time being kids. It's our first time being moms, and we're learning it together. And I think it's so special to have other people who are going through
And
it with
to
you at
talk
the same
about
time.
it amongst each other, because I learned from, you know, we learn from
We learn from
all
each
of
other.
us.
Yes.
Right?
And we work so closely together. It's like family. So it's
Oh, we
wonderful
sit
to
next
have,
to each
I know,
other.
exactly. To
I
see
hear her
all of you
conversations,
here
she hears
together
mine.
and sharing this as moms. So thank you, moms.
Yes.
Happy
Happy
Mother's
Mother's
Day.
Day.
Mother's Day.
Happy Mother's Day. This was
Thank
pretty
you.
special.
Happy Mother's Day, everyone.